My topic is nice people.
Good.
Lots of these, of course, these topics today have come, it seems, from MomoCon. And at MomoCon, this time around, we got to hang out with a gentleman we all know and love named Mega Ran. And Mega Ran is one of the nicest human beings I continue to come in contact with. He keeps coming into our world, and he, of course, is a big-time rapper on the internet. You can find him. He sells out shows all the time. Played a bunch at MomoCon.
Which was awesome. I made it to one of them.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. I've been a Mega Ran fan for many a years.
Yeah, you were one of the people who freaked out when you reached out to us about coming on the shows.
He has a song called Grow Up, which I highly recommend because it's really, really awesome. And I never in my life thought I'd see that song live.
Yeah.
And I did. And it was a weird moment. I called my brother, and I was like, listen to this. He was like, is that fucking Mega Ran? I'm like, yeah, it's fucking Mega Ran.
Yeah.
It was good.
That's a good moment.
Yeah.
But Mega Ran is, like I said, super successful. So the fact that he came here and played on Colin Moriarty Live the one time was amazing. The fact that I said, oh, you're going to MomoCon, we're there too. You should come to the Colin Moriarty Live show. He came to the Colin Moriarty Live show. Then he texted me. He's like, hey, what are you guys doing for dinner? I'm like, oh, we have a meet and greet tonight. You should come. He's like, okay. Came, stayed the whole time, took photos and stuff. And he just radiates awesomeness. You just want to hug him. You just want to talk to him. He's one of those guys who's always happy, it seems. I'm sure he has his down moments like we all do. But always happy. Always super happy to see you. Always want to talk to you, help you out, do whatever he can. He's on Patreon too. You should go get him there. One of the nicest people I've ever met. And we don't talk about the nice people enough. So I wanted to spend a topic talking about the nice people in our lives. I'm starting with Mega Ran. I love Mega Ran.
I mean, MomoCon in general, I think nice people was like a overwhelming thing that just kept happening.
Yeah.
Like down in Atlanta, people were very nice.
Yes.
It was like kind of weird.
Oh, sugar, pardon our progress.
Yeah.
I think that especially, like we talk a lot about Comic-Con and E3. We see the industry side of that, right? But you have to understand if you're going to be around a group of people who are into that specific subject, like matter, basically nerd, quote unquote nerd culture, even though I don't necessarily agree or like that term, just because like spoilers, nerd culture is mainstream culture.
Is everything now.
Exactly,
everything
right.
now. So like if you think that, and to each his own, if you take pride in being called a nerd or liking to sort of disassociate yourself from mainstream culture in that regard, more power to you. But we live in a time right now where we need to stop pretending that comic books and video games are for quote unquote nerds. Everyone plays video games now to some degree, and everyone loves comic book movies to some degree. I'm overgeneralizing, but that's way more mainstream than it has ever been in the past, and it's just going to continue to keep going. I don't know why the hell I started talking about that. Oh, because when you go to these conferences, you meet these people, especially MomoCon, where it is not an industry show. It is just a for shits and giggles show. Like you're going to go, it's just to celebrate the culture, and you meet people that like hold the door open for you, or other people, you know,
Yeah.
or like I was telling Tim, like the interactions in the elevators are hilarious because you're sitting there and people will come in and there's that awkward moment of you like you can tell the person wants to compliment the other person on their cosplay, but they don't want to do it in such a way that kind of makes them look like they're not cool, you know? So they have that kind of like, hey, you know, they kind of point at each other like, oh, you're so-and-so. Oh, you're so-and-so. Awesome. And then one of them leaves and the other person is like, I just met someone that was in the same thing I met, and it's fun. So you get these really, really nice people at these things, and long story short, and it's fun to be around that sort of positive energy. Because unlike E3, which sucks your soul,
Not true.
it is by day 4, everyone just wants to. I mean, basically E3 is like Thunderdome, but everyone just wants to kill each other after the third day.
You call everything Thunderdome.
I'm not really sure I know what that term means. So that is fun. It is fun being around MomoCon. I look for, and same with PAX. Right? When we went to PAX East, I was just like, wow, man, everyone's really nice and cool.
Yeah.
And like and they're respectful. Even when they come up to like say what's up to you, they're always, you know, everyone's always respectful of each other's time. It's nice. I like our lives. It's good. I don't know. Who else?
There's a girl named Jess Lamb. No one would know her, but you all should because she is the nicest girl I think I've ever met. Nicest person I think I've ever met.
Why?
She's always been just very kind to everybody. She's the type of person that will always make sure everyone is having a good time. She will really go out of her way to like do stuff. And like, yeah, opening doors and all that stuff to her would just be like basic level needs to happen.
Yeah.
But, like she would travel hours to make someone's day if that was an option. You know what I mean? Like she's the type of person that really just, even if she doesn't really know him, it's just like she just wants to be nice.
Is this an internet person or a person from
No,
real life?
she's just a real person.
Okay.
Which is weird. It's weird to talk about real people. But it's like she's a real ass person. And it's like she's the type of person that I don't talk to that much, but whenever I do talk to, it always reminds me of like man. Like I need to be a better person because of this girl.
Those are good people to know.
Yeah. And it's like, she is the type of person that doesn't necessarily like keep up with my crazy life and all that crazy shit.
Sure.
But it's like, every once in a while, she'll just reach out randomly and just be like, hey, I'm proud of you. And it's like, that's so unnecessary, but it means so much to me.
Sure.
And it's like moments like that are like, this is why I keep doing what I'm doing. And it's like that unnecessary, unasked for niceness is very rare. And shout out to Jess Lamb.
We love you, Jess Lamb. Yeah. Colin, what nice people do you know?
I don't know, all sorts of nice people. I mean, the funny thing about me, I think, because I have such a curmudgeonly way about me, is that I'm actually like super friendly. Like when I go out and about, like when I'm interacting with people.
You're super nice to people who
except for
don't
those-
live with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
I hate Greg, but
Except
other
for
than
those homeless people you kill.
Yeah, and I mean, there's things we're not going to talk about on the show.
Okay,
today.
sorry, I apologize.
But like my basic interaction is, like when I walk, I'm actually quite friendly in my day-to-day life, in terms of if I go to a bar or I go to I'm checking out at the grocery store, I always go, hey, how you doing? And and I'm like, and they're like, good. And I'm like, okay, and thank you very much, and walk away or whatever.
Sure.
The thing is that I turn on a dime very quickly if someone's not nice I'll immediately
Yeah, you do.
like go.
No,
like,
you do.
And like, because like I always put out a good vibe until I don't get it back, and that's it. I'm not gonna put out a good vibe anymore.
It's a
Like,
beautiful
that's
thing to watch.
That's kind of the way it is, where it's like I'll hold the door open for someone, and we've talked about it before.
Yep.
And then they'll like walk past me, and I'll be like, "You're welcome," like right to them to make sure like they like I don't like mutter it under my breath, and like that's just who I am. So like, I feel like I was raised properly to treat people with a level of respect, and the rapport grows and grows if you're nice to me. Like
wasn't there one guy that you're like, you're welcome, and he turned around, he's like, what do you want, like a,
That
what do
was
you want,
in
a
New York,
sandwich?
yeah.
You're like, touche.
It was what was awesome because I'm so used to not being in New York,
Right.
Where I am very New York,
Yeah.
in the way I carry myself, and I'm used to doing that. And people in California just walk away and don't do anything about it. But I was on the subway in New York City like a year ago, and I let some gentleman kind of got in front of me, and I was just like, oh, go ahead, and then he just walked past me, and I'm like, oh, you're welcome. And he's like, what do you want, metal? And I'm like, all right.
You're like, yeah, all right.
And I just
Yeah.
like
Fair
walk,
enough,
and I
fair
like walk up the escalator because I'm so used to not being challenged.
Yeah.
In that respect. But so I try to always set the tenor of niceness.
Good
And
word.
people have noted that, like people that don't know me very well, or people that are around me a lot, are always been like, you're actually quite friendly to like everyone you encounter. And I'm like, yeah, I like to put out a good vibe and see. And what surprises me more is that most people that I put out good vibes with don't seem to necessarily reciprocate it, which I'm
Yeah.
disappointed in. Just generally, I just don't feel like people in society really are all that friendly to each other. And I try to be a please and thank you, how are you kind of guy. Hold doors, pick up things if someone. I actually was telling Tim, this is a good example. When we were in Atlanta, two things happened where I was very nice, and like nothing, like it was actually like the antithesis of nice, like the way I was treated back. On the plane down to Atlanta, I watched this old man struggle with the monitor on his like trying to swipe the card, like, but like didn't pitch it,
Yeah.
and then swipe the card to like buy a movie or whatever. And after like 5 minutes, I was like, I can't fucking take this anymore. And I got up and I was like, look, you got to do this. Like, push it forward and then use your credit card. And he just looked at me and then did it and then just ordered his movie. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I'll bear you, old man.
And then the second time was like the second time, like in the food court, some guy like dropped his phone. The battery like flew across the. And I was like, and then like, he didn't notice. He was just having a conversation. I was like, yo, like, you dropped your phone. I don't know if you want to pick it up. And he just looked at me.
Yeah.
And then picked
Yeah.
up the phone or whatever. I'm like, you're fucking welcome.
To be fair with that one, and I was thinking about that, he had his earphones in, and I think he might have been listening to music, and he was just like confused at what was going on. He just saw you like kind of point and stuff. Still, though, when he had his phone, even if he didn't know what was happening, like if that was me, I would have like pulled him out and be like, "Oh, shoot, sorry, thank you." He didn't do that. He just kind of looked at you and just gave.
Yeah, so I was just like, all right, like, so like I try to carry, like I know I have a curmudgeonly way about me on the shows and stuff like that, but I think I ham that up a little bit. Like when I go out and about, I'm always, I'm never like, I never not say thank you. I never don't
Yes.
say please. I kind of carry myself in a polite way. So I encounter nice people every day, but I also encounter people that are not very nice every day. The one thing I noticed is that, and I think it's just the nature of Kind of Funny's audience and the audience we've engendered and how we've kind of just feverishly pushed out people that are not friendly and not nice, is that we just have a very nice audience.
Yeah,
that
the
are
audience is great.
Very, very, like when we meet them, we met hundreds of them this weekend in Atlanta at the meet and greet and at the panels and our signing sessions and stuff. Just very friendly, people please and thank you kind of people. Those are the kinds of people I like. I couldn't imagine not being a please and thank you kind of person. So I put that energy out, and then you identify really nice people. And my favorite thing is when the other person is even nicer. When you talk to them, I was like, hey, how are you? And it's like, oh, good, I'm doing well today. How are you doing? And I'm
You're like,
"Oh."
shut up.
And I'm like,
Busy.
It almost takes me off guard sometimes because I'm so
Yeah.
used to just being like, what do you want?
It's nice. It's like a perfect example of was yesterday. I was in a bad mood just because I was tired and had to deal with a lot of stuff. And I was like, my wife needs me to go to Trader Joe's. But I know so I went home to grab bags because I'm like, I don't want to pay for, we needed like a bunch of groceries. I don't want to pay 10 cents for each one of these bags. It's a little weird thing I got, a little weird war that's going on.
It's a principle.
And I came in not expecting to see my wife, and she was there. And she was so excited to see me because we hadn't seen each other in like 5 days. And really, like, when I came home Sunday night, we got home at midnight or 12:30, and she was fast asleep. And she sprung up and like ran to the door and hugged me and was like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, and that totally changed my mood. Then I went to Trader Joe's.
I was gonna say, hey, what are you doing here? Where's the Trader Joe's? You forgot.
No. She was just very excited and very happy, and that flipped my mood so vastly, like 180 degrees. I was instantly just happy because I was like, someone is being nice to me, and someone who I love is caring about me right now. Then I went to Trader Joe's. I was super excited to be there. Went around like 15 times, just distracted, looking at everything. But finally got everything I needed. Went up to the cash register, and this girl was the girl that was there, I could tell was having a really bad day. She was dealing with a foreign guy, and there's nothing against foreigners, but I don't think he quite understood how grocery stores were supposed to work here. Either that or couldn't get his card to work. Something was not happening properly where she was trying to explain it to him, how to like run his card through the thing, and he was just like,
Oh, he's used to tapping it with the chip.
I don't know what the hell it was. He was
We're
trying
doing
to
like
figure
the
out,
swipe cards.
He was trying to figure out what the hell was going on, and she was like, "No." And then finally, I had to like help him swipe it, and he was like, and the whole time he wasn't being
Cool
a
about it.
dick, but he wasn't really
Helping,
giving a shit.
yeah.
And he was like laughing with his wife, and they were speaking in a different language, and she was just like, ah. So when I got up there, she starts unloading my stuff, and I look her in the eye, and I'm like, "How you doing?" And she goes, "I'm okay. How are you?" And I'm like, "I'm well. Do you mind if I bag my own stuff?" She goes, "That would be awesome." And I bagged all of my stuff. She didn't have to help. I guess I like bagging my own groceries.
Me too.
Something weird Tetris about it that I want to like perfectly make the space for it. Also, it just speeds shit up. And by the end of it, I could tell I'm like my positive energy. She left. She's like, "Hey, see you later, man. Thanks for coming in." I was like, "Hey, thanks for helping me." Great. And I could tell that I had, just by being happy and positive,
Yeah.
flipped her mood as
Goes a
well.
long way, man.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was
Definitely
really
does.
weird.
I was thinking about it. Like I felt like I was missing somebody because I was like, there's been a few times in my life where I'm like, this person is the epitome of this word.
Sure.
And nice. There was one guy that I'm like, you were the nicest person I've ever met, Jared Petty.
Oh, Jared Petty is one of the nicest people
Oh
ever.
my God.
Yes.
Yeah, Jared Petty's a nice guy. I was thinking Darren too. Darren Brazil.
Brazil.
See,
was
I
a
thought
dick.
about Darren, but Darren can be a dick. And it might be because of the level of my relationship with
Sure.
Darren, but Darren can be really not nice too.
Right.
Having said
no,
that,
Darren's
Darren
not.
can be very nice.
Darren's not ever not nice. Darren just enjoys screwing with you sometimes.
No, Darren's done some not nice shit.
No, that's
Yeah,
not true.
I'm
He's
calling
never
you out,
done
Darren.
anything malicious. Darren's really, really, really nice, and then if he has that rapport with you, will occasionally like give you shit or like nag you a little bit for fun because it's fun. That's the same thing we all do. We just
No,
we
Darren's
jive
been,
each other
Darren's
back
been
and
a
forth.
dick to me. Like he's done not
Bullshit.
nagging. He's done some dick shit.
That's because you
besides
probably deserved it. You probably deserved
He's
the dick
also
shit.
done like a lot of very incredible things for me, and I feel like Darren, having said all of that, is my perfect example of who I want to be
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like
Physique and man bun.
physique, and also just
Such a
in
good
terms
man
of like
bun.
his ideals and his like idea of what a family should be and all that stuff. Like he kind of got that shit down in
Yeah.
a lot of really cool ways. But going back to it, man, freaking Jared Petty,
Jared Petty and I mean bone in that guy's body.
Nope.
No.
man.
Nice guy.
The Reverend.
There was a
Sometimes people are too nice.
Like Jared Petty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where it's like I want, not because I'm mad at him for being nice. I like him being nice, but it's like I want to see you not be nice.
there's something.
What
in there.
what
There's
do you
a
hate
beast
about
in
me,
there.
Jared? Tell me right now.
He
That was one of
wouldn't
the things.
tell you.
Remember when we all
He
first
wouldn't
met
tell you.
Clements? That was the problem. Clements was way too nice. We were like, there's got to be
We broke
something
him,
in
though.
you
See,
there.
what
We
is-
eventually broke him all that. I'm sorry bullshit.
Yeah, what does it say about me that I met Clements and he was really nice, and I'm like, I gotta break that. I gotta kill this and destroy
Well,
it.
because
and
I
build
think
it
I
back
think
up.
I think the real world generally in work environments is a mixture of nice and being nice and polite, but also being real and stern and speaking your mind and stuff like that. Some people are just timid about doing that kind of thing, and I don't blame them because it's not because they just don't want to rock the boat. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's actually a good character trait, but it doesn't necessarily work all the time in a professional environment. So you need to, it's a joke, but you need to kind of like break it.
It's hard, man. Like, I think overall I'm a pretty nice person, but like it's hard to be confrontational and to do that stuff. And I feel like there's times when it's like, in order to do the right thing, you kind of have to be. And that's hard because balancing being nice and getting things done. So a lot of the times those two things don't necessarily add up. And it's hard to say things that are going to hurt somebody, you know? And I feel like that's where nice kind of ends. And it's like, there has to be some other type of word. Like there's a difference between being a good person and a nice person, you know? And it's really hard to be nice all the time.
Well,
And I don't know that's necessarily the best thing either.
What you're saying is like in order to do, sometimes doing the right thing means you have to not be nice.
Yeah.
There's a great quote. I don't know if you guys are caught up on Game of Thrones. It's not really spoiling at all. There's a great quote where the old guy at the Night's Watch, the really really old guy. I can't remember what his title is. It's like that's not Maestro. It's something.
Maester.
Maester, is that what it is?
Yeah.
He is the
Aegon.
second to last Targaryen.
Aegon.
And he's like blind and he's late and so
Oh,
Jon
that
Snow.
guy.
Yeah, Jon Snow comes up to him and is like, yes, exactly. Jon Snow comes up to him and he's like, I need your advice on something. I need to do something, but it's going to be really unpopular. And the guy goes, just do it. And he goes, but you don't even know what it is. And he's like, no, but you feel the need to do it. You're the leader. You have to go do it. And then he proceeds to say, he goes on this great little monologue, and then he ends it with, kill the boy and let the man and let the man live. And that's not in regards to what he's going to do. He's actually talking about just the war within every human being, where he's like, you can't be the little boy anymore that wants
friends.
everyone to be his friend. You got to kill that kid, and you have to be a fucking man. And sometimes being a man means you got to be stern, and sometimes it means you have to be mean, in order to fight for what you want, because people will take advantage of you, and that's just the way it goes. But yeah, when you meet people like Clements, I don't think Clements is. I don't think he wasn't ever like. I don't think it was to his. I don't think it was bad for him to be that nice. I don't think he ever ran into a set of circumstances where he was that nice and it like really held him back in any way, shape, or form. But it was working around you two complete and total assholes was probably good for him.
We brought him down to our level.
We made him stronger.
We brought him in the mud.
No,
he went from being a nice
mud.
person to a good person.
There you go.
You don't know. You weren't there. You weren't in the
I was
trenches
totally
with
there.
us.
I
You
listened
don't know.
to
You were smoking
every-
cigarettes. You and Brendan and I, you were eating
I
meatball
listened
subs.
to every podcast beyond.
Yeah,
I watched
big
all of
time.
your reviews. I read every article any of you guys have ever read.
Finish
and I
this-
saw the difference.
finish
in-
this statement.
I'm not gonna. I can't. Don't even try. Don't even try.
Jacob blank Jacob.
I have no idea what you're talking
Jacob is what I was looking for. Fucking phony ass fan.
I'll tell you this. I know.
Don't touch me!
I know it pisses you off more than anything, though, when you don't enter Cat PlayStation.
Yeah, that is. That does really get me. That gets
Yeah.
me good.
I learned
Don't
that
do
from
that to
this
me.
podcast, though, the greatest podcast on the internet, next to the Joe Rogan podcast.
You say we were the
Was that Superman trying to
punch
You gotta
punch
keep-
reality?
just punch
Punch-
harder.
Yeah, you just punch harder.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's been the Game Over Greggy show. And little did you know, it was brought to you by Loot Crate.
Yay.
You can go to lootcrate.com/kinda-funny and get $3 off any new subscription. Every month there is a different theme, and you're guaranteed $40 or more worth of items curated around their theme. This month, Loot Crate invites you to join the cyber revolution. As we covered before, Tim, cyber, you think?
Is good stuff. It's
Yeah.
fun stuff that everybody likes.
Cyber revolution with an
I like how
assortment
you're
of cool
dancing at me.
tech-themed collectibles from a wide array of awesome franchises. They're featuring exclusive items from Terminator Genesis, Borderlands 2, and more, including an exclusive t-shirt you won't find anywhere else. So go to lootcrate.com/kindafunny to save $3 on your new subscription. And of course, thank you, Loot Crate, for supporting the show. And a thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this year's show and supporting us that way. If you didn't know, this has been the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, throw us a few bucks on patreon.com/kindafunny. But if you don't have the money, no big deal. Go to youtube.com/kindafunny, where each topic's broken out day by day in video form until we post the entire show on Friday as a video and a podcast. Gentlemen, thank you for your hard work today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome, Colin.
Thank you
You
so
got
much.
holes in your shirt, don't forget.
I know. The weird thing is that this shirt and my FBI shirt that I wore yesterday both have holes in the same exact places in the front and back.
What are you doing?
And they're both the shirts that I brought to the live show. At some point, like that bag was on like a rusty nail or something and just went through all my shirts. But I don't really
that's
care. Who am I
sad.
trying to impress?
Nobody. You got nothing.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Looks
I have
like-
too many shirts anyway.
Looks like you got shot, though. It's like in the back and the
Well,
front.
it makes a lot of sense.
He's
were
been talking
talking
shit.
shit.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.